wonder if my boyfriend and his friends tune in to watch every week.
I'm sure. Well, Will does.
Well, he said he was getting into reality TV, so I would think that means that he's watching.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I would assume so.
I'd hope so, because he never used to really watch TV. Like, we'd always just, like, watch movies or something, but he'd never... Yeah. But usually he would just, like, watch the news and then movies.
Mm-hmm.
So it'd be really cool if he was watching.
I know, I wonder who of mine are watching, like, the most.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
Michelle?
How are you?
Paranoid.
This house will do that.
Yeah.
Why?
Just because of what Deli did and what he said about it.
What do you mean?
Well, the fact that he picked me. I read things and read stuff into things anyway, so it just looked like bad to me. And then when I confronted him about it just to ask why he picked to replace me, he said, well, you understand how my power works, right? Like, I can't replace Sabrina or Michelle. So to me, he was saying that I'm the next on his picking order. So obviously, I was his only option to take off because I'm the low man in his eyes.
No, I didn't.
But that was a stupid thing for him to say, though.
I don't think he knew he even meant, like, it was coming across that way, though. I didn't even think of it that way.
It's just the way it came off. It's totally been on my mind ever since. Because I feel really silly now to think that I would be joining a group of people who had already formed before me and think that I wasn't going to be the first man picked off.
But you did.
But I did what?
You did join a group, and, like,
I did, but...
It's not the reason that you're in it is to be the first one picked off. You're joining a group that was barely made before you were even in it. Like, it didn't even have a name until after you were in it.
I know that.
So, like, the fact that he said it in the first place didn't mean anything against you. It just meant that he had to choose between you, Arlie, and Netta, and he just happened to choose you. It didn't mean any more or any less of you.
No, but he didn't say anything about Arlie or Netta. He said, I obviously can't pick off Sabrina or Rochelle, so... And to me, that's him saying, so you were my next obvious pick.
Yeah, honestly, I don't think he meant it that way. It's not like a Deli thing. That's like I had to choose between one of you three, and I just chose you kind of thing. But I also know Deli really well. But I wouldn't, like, I don't know. I don't feel like that's a very secure feeling. And besides, like, we wanted you here. Like, we saved you. Like, we wouldn't do it for no reason.
No, but I'm also a number. And next week, somebody's going to win HOH, and one of us have to go up.
Yeah.
And it's just not a good feeling, because now I'm immediately back in survival mode. And I feel silly to think that I wasn't going to be an immediate person, especially, like if Sab stays. People are going to want to keep her.
Everyone hates her.
Doesn't matter. She's an easy person to beat at the end, and she's not as much of a threat as Rochelle. So if Sabrina stays, somebody might fucking pick off one of us before they get rid of her. And I can see that happening to me.
I see it as you're part of the group, and the group decides as a group, and...
Except for next week. Group doesn't decide as a group next week.
Yeah, they do. They still decide on a pawn.
Yeah, and if the gremlin wins POV, then one of us have to go home. And at that point, it doesn't become a group decision anymore. It's kind of like everyone turns on me, is how I see it. And I don't know if that's selfish, but it's like, I'm the low man, again.
The whole point on having you join wasn't so that you'd be the lone man, though. Like, even though that's the only way you're thinking of it, like, we're all equal. That's why we had it in the first place.
I get that, but there's no way that you can all be equal.
You are when you have one common denominator.
Yeah, but if it's Ab here, I don't think that is the common. I think that'll change stuff.
I don't know what to tell you that I haven't already told you, babe.
I know, but like, what do you want to do?
What do you mean?
I don't know, what are your thoughts? Like, go through scenarios with me. What happens next week if you win HOH?
If I win, then one of the gremlins go up and a pawn goes up, and I talk to everyone and see who's willing to be a pawn and who's not.
And if the gremlin wins POV?
Gremlin's not going to win POV.
If the gremlin wins POV?
Then I have to decide on one of my friends to send home.
Mm-hmm.
But a pawn is a pawn. I'm not going to make the pawn go home. But they're trusting me to be a pawn. But I'm not going to think of people that I want to leave yet because I'm not at that point yet. And I find myself worrying about it, and then like 6 million still has to happen. Like I know that there's more coming.
Heather, please fix your microphone.
What's up?
That's me. And I'm kind of nervous that, like, what happens if tomorrow is the 6 million and Canada picks who to replace? Like a third person, or like taking off one person.
Mm-hmm.
Deciding who else goes out.
I know, I feel like if 2 people don't leave this week, 3 people are leaving next week, which is crazy.
Really?
That makes no sense. Well, yeah, because we'll think about it. Well, we have 5 people to go in 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
If only 1 person leaves, we have 4 people to go in 2 weeks. So 2 people will have to leave both weeks.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Or like 2 and 1, and then friggin' 4 people in the last week, and then they pick one off halfway through or something like that. To make final 3.
Mm-hmm. I don't know what they're gonna do.
I wish I did.
I think that's part of the hardest part about this game is not knowing what they're gonna do. And not knowing what they're actually at.
Yeah, I find that difficult. Especially with being like a new alliance and not really being close to most people in it. Don't really know where people's heads are at.
You got close to them too.
I know. There's only so close you can get.
I suppose.
Heather, please fix your microphone.
Fuck! They're... Okay.
Come on in, the water's fine. That's fine.
Mm-hmm. I'm happy you tried Alliance.
I am too, but today it was scary. It scared me.
I should never jump to conclusions.
It's hard not to though when like it's all I've ever been in this game is kind of the lone man.
Oh, my nose is bleeding. Why? I don't know. Oh my god.
Head balls.
Did you tell Heather?
Nope.
Okay, because
Nobody.
no one knows.
No.
Because Allison's pretty sure.
Yeah. He doesn't know anything.
Adele knows though.
He doesn't know anything.
How?
I haven't I told him I was thinking about it. I haven't told anyone that I was using it.
Okay, so Adele told her.
Yeah. Anyways, come over and like